تغيره الحوادث ولا يخشى الدوائر، يعلم مثاقيل الجبال ومكائل البحار وعدد قدر الأمطار وعدد ورق الأشجار وعدد ما أظلم عليه الليل وما أشرق عليه النهار، ولا تواري منه سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا، الحلال ما أحللت والحرام ما حرمت والدين ما شرعت والأمر ما قدرت، الخلق خلقك والعبد عبدك وأنت الله رؤوف رحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على حبيبه ونبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: الظلم ظلمات يوم القيامة، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And before I begin, I would like to wish, alhamdulillah, everyone, Ramadan Mubarak. Today, inshallah, we will start with La Yuhibbullahu, our 6th juz. So without further ado, inshallah, we'll start. لا يحب الله الجهر بالسوء من القول إلا من ظلم. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes false talk, wrong talk, bad talk about others, except an oppressed person who talks about his oppression. إلا من ظلم وكان الله سميعا عليما. And indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all hearing and all seeing. Now this is to show that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is aware of the condition of an oppressed person. As Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran in another ayah, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَ اللَّهَ غَافِلًا, do not think Allah Ta'ala is heedless عَمَّا يَعْمَلُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Do not think Allah Ta'ala is heedless of what an oppressor is doing. So this is also to show that if a person is allowed to talk bad about his oppression, a person is about to complain about his oppression and about the person who is oppressing him, now only up until where it's reality. Now, in this ayah as well, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ سَمِيعًا عَلِيمًا, among those, indeed Allah Ta'ala is all hearing. Do not think Allah Ta'ala is not hearing your problems. And do not think Allah Ta'ala is not able to see your problems. Indeed Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is well aware of their situation. إن تبدوا خيرا أو تخفوه أو تعفوا عن سوء فإن الله كان عفوا قديرا. Now whatever good you do, whether you make it apparent or it's hidden, or you forgive someone, or you forgive that person who has done bad to you, or if you forgive that person who has oppressed you. And in this ayah there is indication that forgiving is always better. In tubdu khayran, it starts out by saying whatever good you do, if you make it apparent, or tukhfuhu, or if it's hidden, or ta'fu an su'in. Now there's also ishara here that forgiving is always better. So it's always better to forgive that person who has done wrong to you. It's always better to forgive that person who has caused you some pain. Because thereafter Allah Ta'ala says, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَفُوًا قَدِيرًا. It is better to do this because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is forgiving as well. And in another beautiful hadith, my dear respected brothers, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said as well regarding the dua, regarding the call and the prayer of a mazlum, of an oppressed person, by saying, ثَلَاثُ دَعْوَاتٍ مُسْتَجَابَاتٍ. There are 3 du'as that are accepted, لَا شَكَّ فِيهِنَّ, without any doubt. دَعْوَةُ الْمَظْلُوم, the dua of a mazlum. When an oppressed person makes dua to Allah Ta'ala, his dua gets accepted. وَدَعْوَةُ الْمُسَافِرِ, when a person is traveling, his dua gets accepted. وَدَعْوَةُ الْوَالِدِ عَلَى وَلَدِهِ, and the dua of a father upon his child. Now, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ, for those who, if you have your Qur'ans open, please open your Qur'ans and you can look inside as well. So from here, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْفُرُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ, from ayah number 150 all the way until ayah number 154. وَأَخَذْنَا مِنْهُمْ مِيثَاقًا غَلِيظًا. Now this will talk about Bani Israel, and we will talk about how they said فَقَالُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ جَهْرَةً, we want to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right before our eyes. And ثُمَّ اتَّخَذُوا الْعِجْلَ, thereafter they worshipped the cow. Now all of this has been mentioned in Surah Baqarah, and we'll not go into this. So, and we will move on. Now from here, from ayah number 157, if you have your Quran open. وَبِكُفْرِهِمْ وَقَوْلِهِمْ عَلَى مَرْيَمَ بُهْتَانٍ عَظِيمًا وقولهم إنا قتلنا المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله وما قتلوه وما صلبوه ولكن شبه لهم وإن الذين اختلفوا فيه لفي شك منه ما لهم به من علم إلا اتباع الظن وما قتلوه يقينا. Now because Isa alayhi salam was born without a father, now this was a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, and this was something the Jews failed to understand, they failed to believe in. And as a result, they accused A'udhu Billah Maryam alayhi salam. Now the Quran has said this clearly and confirmed that no one had killed him. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ, let alone killing him. وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ, nor was he crucified. وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ, but another person was made to resemble him. And the Quran has clearly clarified this, and Quran clearly states that Isa alayhi salam was not killed, he was not crucified. وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. And this was all this clarification Allah Ta'ala will also give in Surah Maryam as well. وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُمْ, he was another person was made to resemble him. Thereafter, he was raised towards the sky. Now there are two narrations here. The first, when it comes to وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ, how the Jews actually think they killed Isa alayhi salam, there are two narrations here. First being, when people surrounded the house of Isa alayhi salam, when they intended to kill Na'udhu Billah Isa alayhi salam, one of the helpers of Isa alayhi salam, one of the Hawari of Isa alayhi salam, volunteered to sacrifice his life in order to save Isa alayhi salam. So what happened was, he opened the door, he went outside, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the resemblance of Isa alayhi salam. Thereafter they killed him and they crucified him. And in the midst, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whilst this was happening, Allah ta'ala raised Isa alayhi salam towards the sky. Now this was the first narration. Now the second narration is this person who came inside. Now there's a person who came inside to kill Isa alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this person resemble Isa alayhi salam. And thereafter Allah ta'ala raised Isa alayhi salam. So now when the people, they came inside to kill Na'udhu Billah Isa alayhi salam, they found him, this person who resembled Isa alayhi salam. And they killed him and they crucified him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this clearly, وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ يَقِينًا, they did not kill him. Now, now from here, ayah number, if you have your Quran opened, ayah number 171. Ayah number 171, if you have your Quran opened. يا أهل الكتاب لا تغلوا في دينكم ولا تقولوا على الله إلا الحق إنما المسيح عيسى ابن مريم رسول الله وكلمته ألقاها إلى مريم وروح منه فآمنوا بالله ورسله ولا تقولوا الثلاثة انتهوا خيرا لكم إنما الله إله واحد سبحانه أن يكون له ولد له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وكفى بالله وكيلا. Now from here the discussion of Christians will start. Now Jews had taken Isa alayhi salam as their enemy, but Christians claimed now this is ifrat and tafriq here. Jews, they were against Isa alayhi salam. They did not even think Isa alayhi salam was a prophet. They did not consider Isa alayhi salam to be a prophet. Now Christians, on the other hand, they were too extravagant. They claimed that Isa alayhi salam, na'udhu billah, was the son of Allah Ta'ala, because Isa alayhi salam was born without a father. they believed God. Now, I would say God, I will not say Allah. They believed God is in three persons: Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And this is known as the Holy Trinity. As they say, and Allah Ta'ala, now after revealing this ayah, Allah Ta'ala nullifies and mentions that there is no such thing as the Holy Trinity. As Allah Ta'ala says as well, Isa was only a prophet. Isa was only a prophet. And Allah Ta'ala says right here as well, وَلَا تَقُولُوا ثَلَاث. Do not speak of the Holy Trinity. Do not say God is in three persons, meaning the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. إِنْتَهُ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Stay away from this. إِنَّمَا اللَّهُ, thereafter Allah Ta'ala gives clarifications as well. إِنَّمَا اللَّهُ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ. Indeed, Allah Ta'ala is alone Himself. There is none worthy of worship besides Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Do not spread these rumors. Subhanahu an yakuna lahu walad. And how can Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala have a child? له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وكفى بالله وكيلا. Now this was revealed to nullify their belief. Now, from here, from ayah number, the last ayah of Surah Nisa, ayah number 176. يستفتونك قل الله يفتيكم في الكلالة. Now, Ya Rasulullah, they will ask you about kalala. Now, what is kalala? Kalala is a person whose father, grandfather, son, nor grandson are alive at the time of his death. And they will ask you regarding this person what to do with his inheritance and what to do with the wealth that he has left behind. And this is the meaning of kalala. So if his sister is alive, now if his sister is alive, she will be given half of what he has left, between, and further half what he has left. Now, and further details are given, which we will not get into. So then again, a person, few details, because I do not want to get involved in the details of wasiyah, the details of mirath, the details of inheritance. So this again, kalala is that person, if you want to write this down, you can write it down as well. Kalala is that person whose father, whose grandfather, whose son, nor his grandson is alive at the time of his death. Now, we will move on to Surah Ma'idah now. Surah Ma'idah. Now this surah was revealed towards the end of Rasulullah's life. Some portion of the surah was revealed at the time of Surah Hudaybiyah. Some portion of the surah was revealed at the time of Fath Makkah. And some of it was revealed at the time of Hajjatul Wada. Now, starting from here, the second ayah, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu la tahillu sha'air Allah, all the way until Inna Allaha shadidul iqab. Now, what happened was those people who, now Allah Ta'ala says here, those people who have believed, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu la tahillu sha'air Allah, do not violate the rituals of Hajj and Umrah. Now, what happened was, the year Muslims, along with Rasulullah had come for Umrah, when they came to perform Umrah. Now, as we all know, Mecca is the holy land. And Mecca has, there are rituals of Hajj and there are rituals of Umrah a person cannot do. For instance, a person is not allowed to hunt while it's in the state of Ihram. Now, these are the rituals of Hajj, and now at the same time, a person is not allowed to fight in Haram. And these are the rules and rituals of Hajj and Umrah. So now when Muslims came, the non-Muslims said, you know what, sorry, you cannot perform Umrah. You come next year. Come next year, and then you can perform Umrah next year. And after saying this, they had restricted Muslims, and they had set a really, really harsh statements, and they made a really harsh agreement in the beginning. So Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is telling them that now that you are in the vicinity of Haram, now you are in the state of Ihram. Do not violate the states of do not violate the rituals of Hajj and Umrah while you are in the state of Ihram. وَإِذَا حَلَلْتُمْ فَاصْطَادُوا, when you take your Ihram off, when you become halal, basically. That's what it means. وَإِذَا حَلَلْتُمْ, when you take your Ihram off, فَاصْطَادُوا, then you are allowed to hunt. Now at the same time, if they stop you, أن صدوكم عن المسجد الحرام أن تعتدوا ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Allah Ta'ala is telling them and informing them as well. If they stop you, if they indulge in war, if they indulge in arguments and disputes, ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان. Do not engage with them in discussions and arguments as well. But then what you are to do is وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى. Now, if they are going against you, if they are willing to fight you, if they are arguing with you, you tell them وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى. Tell them nicely about the rituals of Hajj and Umrah. Tell them about the hurma of this place. Tell them about of how sacred this place is. Now, اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من. Now this is after they were given permission to. This is at the time this ayah was revealed at the time of Hajjat al-Wida. اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Now today disbelievers have become hopeless. اليوم يئس الذين كفروا. Now after seeing their position and after seeing their number, they will become hopeless of defeating them. اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم. So do not fear them. واخشوني, fear me. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. And this is, subhanAllah, the last ayah that was revealed. Today, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. Today I have completed for you, I have perfected for you your religion. وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. I have completed my favors upon you. ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Now this ayah, my dear respected brothers, then again, this ayah was revealed. This is the last ayah to be revealed, and this ayah was revealed of Hajjatul Wida. Now, moving on to the next ayah, moving on to ayah number 6. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم. Now in this ayah we find إلى آخره all the way until عليكم لعلكم تشكرون. Now in this ayah we find the fara'id of wudu. Now what are the fara'id of wudu? And this also shows that when a person intends when a person intends to pray, wudu is salah is the key to Jannah. Now what is the key to salah? The key to salah is wudu. So this is also telling us that a person who wishes to pray salah, a person who intends to pray salah, he has to clarify himself. And how can a person purify himself? There are only two ways. One is through water, the other is through tayammum. Now here are the fara'id, and what are the fara'id of wudu? فَغْسِلُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. Washing of the face. This is fard. Thereafter, وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ. Washing of your arms, elbows included. Now today, my dear respected brothers, it's sad to say, today a lot of people, and I've seen this myself as well, when they make wudu in the wudu khana, or when they make wudu at home, they tend to only wash their arms. Their elbows are dry. Now when their elbows are dry, their wudu is incomplete. Now when their wudu is incomplete, their salah is incomplete, because wudu is the key to salah. Now without wudu, you cannot enter into salah. Without salah, you cannot enter into Jannah. So this is something that we have to be careful of. Washing of the arms, see, as we read, it's clear here. وَأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ. Elbows included. And elbows included. Thereafter, وَامْتَحُوا بِرُؤُوسِكُمْ. Doing masa of your head. Now, I will not get into the detail of this, what is thought, what is this, because there might be people of different school of thought. So I do not want to create a commotion or ruckus. Now, وَأَرْجُلَكُمْ إِلَى الْكَعْبَيْنِ. Thereafter, washing of your feet, including your ankles. Now, many times, my dear respected brothers, people don't know this. Today, when you ask someone what are the fara'id of wudu, someone will say washing of the hands, gargling is also part of fard. It is also part of the wudu. Now, when the time is short, the fara'id of wudu are only 4. But now this person who has less knowledge, or has little to no knowledge of what are the fara'id of wudu, now he is wasting his time. Because he thinks washing of the mouth, washing of the nose, doing khilal is also, and yes, I will say he is wasting his time, because these are not fara'id of wudu. When the time is very short, it is okay for a person to do fard wudu, which is then again washing of your face. Now, washing of your face, just to give clear indications as well, clear clarification is your face starts from the portion of your forehead where the hair starts from. It starts from here all the way until the bottom of your chin. That is basically, you can say north and south. East and west would be from one earlobe to the other, and this is considered wajh. This is your face. أيديكم إلى المرافق, your arms until your elbows included. وامسحوا برؤوسكم, doing masa of the head. And last but not least, وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين, doing washing of your feet, including your ka'bayn, including your ankles. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ جُنُبًا فَطَهَّرُوا. Now, if you are in a state of impurity, فَطَهَّرُوا, clean yourself. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ مَرْضَى وَعَلَى سَفْرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدُكُمْ مِنْكُمْ مِنَ الْغَائِطِ أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ. And these are all the conditions that if you do all this, فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً. Now, this is another thing we have to understand, my dear respected brothers. فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ مِنْهُ. Now, my dear respected brothers, this is something what we have to understand. Tayammum only becomes lazim. A person can only do tayammum فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً if there is no water. And today, a lot of people, when you have water today, let's say perhaps you have even 2 bottles of water, Pure Life, whatever the water may be, Real Canadian, whatever the water may be. Now, this water, a person, now, when water is present, it is not okay. It is not jaiz for a person to do tayammum. I'm only saying this because I've seen this myself. Water was present because of this person, subhanAllah, I don't know what the reason was. He said, and he had no genuine excuse. He had no genuine reason. He just made tayammum. He said, I feel like doing tayammum. This is something that you cannot do. Water nullifies tayammum. As soon as you see water, your tayammum breaks, and you have to make wudu then, because your tayammum is not intact. So this is something that, again, my dear respected brothers, we have to understand. Now, moving on to ayah number 11. Ayah number 11. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ هم قوم أن يبسطوا إليكم أيديهم فكف أيديهم عنكم واتقوا الله وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون. Now remember the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon you. Some Mufassirin have said this is referring to when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was leading Dhuhr Salah. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was leading Dhuhr Salah at the time of a battle near a place called Asfan. He was leading Dhuhr Salah. Now when the disbelievers, when they saw this, they said, now Muslims are vulnerable, now is our chance, we can attack them. We can attack them and we will be victorious. Now they are praying, we will surprise attack them. Now when the time of Asr came, the hukm of Salatul Khawf came. The hukm of Salatul Khawf is a group prays, thereafter another group, they fend off and they fight off, they fend off enemies. Now what happens is after this is that they switch places. Now the group that was praying, they will come and they will defend those who are praying. This is called Salatul Khawf. Then again, we'll not go into the details of how to pray Salatul Khawf. And as this was revealed, this ayah, because of this ayah, Muslims were saved from the surprise attack of the disbelievers. Now from here, وَلَقَدْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. This will talk about all the way until and the following few ayahs, this will talk about Bani Israel. And then again, we will not get into the depth of Bani Israel because we've already done so. So starting from ayah number 21 and onwards. So يا قوم ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. Now this incident took place after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Bani Israel from Fir'aun. This incident happened after Allah ta'ala saved Bani Israel from Fir'aun. He instructed Musa alayhi salam and Bani Israel to go to Ardul Muqaddasa. Ardul Muqaddasa referring to as Bayt al-Maqdis, referring to as Palestine, Palestine. Now the reason why it's called Muqaddasa means pure. The reason why this is called Ardul Muqaddasa is because many prophets had come here. Now there was one condition: in order for them to live there, in order for Bani Israel, the followers of Musa alayhi salam, to live in Bayt al-Maqdis, to live in Palestine, they had to defeat a nation who were living there by the name of Imaraqa. And this was a nation, and these were the descendants of Ad. So when they heard about this, they said, قالوا يا موسى, O Musa alayhi salam, إن فيها قوما جبارين. Ya Musa, indeed there are people who are living here. These people are stronger than us. We cannot defeat them. Thereafter they said, وَإِنَّا لَن نَدْخُلَهَا حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. Ya Musa alayhi salam, and this was the condition, that in order for them to live in order for these people to live in Bayt al-Maqdis, they had to defeat that nation. The nation of Imaraqa, who were the descendants of Ad. Now, just imagine how big Ad were, and just so we can imagine how big these people were as well. So now, when the time of battle came, they refused. They said, we will not go and fight. These people are too strong for us. وَإِنَّا لَنَدْخُلَهَا حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. Ya Musa, we will only enter حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. Once they leave, then we will enter, and then we will live and reside in Bayt al-Maqdis. فَإِنْ يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا فَإِنَّا دَاخِلُونَ. And when they leave, وَإِنَّا لَنَدْخُلَهَا حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. We will never enter into this place, into the city, حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا, until they leave. فَإِنْ يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا. If they leave, and when they leave, فَإِنَّا دَاخِلُونَ, then we will enter. Thereafter, قَالَ رَجُلَانِ مِنَ الَّذِينَ يَخَافُونَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمَا. Now, who are these two people? قَالَ رَجُلَانِ. Two people said. Now, these two men were Yusha alayhi salam and Kalim alayhi salam. They were not prophets at that time. They were the helpers of Musa alayhi salam, along with Harun alayhi salam. But Harun alayhi salam was a prophet at that time. So they said, "Udkhulu alayhim al-bab." Fight, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you. You will, inshallah, you will be victorious. فَإِذَا دَخَلْتُمُوهُمْ فَإِنَّكُمْ غَالِبُونَ. And when you go to fight them, you will not be overpowered. You will overpower them. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَتَوَكَّلُوا. Have faith in Allah Ta'ala. Have faith in Allah Ta'ala. فَتَوَكَّلُوا. Have faith in Allah Ta'ala إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, if you are amongst believers. قالوا يا موسى. But this was not enough for them. This belief that was given to them, this was not enough for them. This was not. They were not motivated by this. قالوا يا موسى إنا لن ندخلها أبدا ما داموا فيها. Ya Musa, will not go and enter into that city ما داموا فيها, as long as they are in there. فاذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنا هاهنا قاعدون. Now look at the answer now that they're giving. They're saying, فَذْهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ. Ya Musa, we will not go and fight. فَذْهَبْ أَنْتَ. So you go, and Allah Ta'ala go, the two of you fight yourself. فَقَاتِلَا إِنَّا هَاهُنَا قَاعِدُونَ. We are sitting here, we will wait for you. قال ربي إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي فافرق بيننا وبين القوم الفاسقين. Ya Allah, I have no power over them, I have no authority over them, I have no authority over anyone except for myself. وأخي فافرق بيننا وبين القوم الفاسقين. So Ya Allah, separate between us and the qawm and the nation of and the people and those people who disbelieve and those people who deny. قال فإنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة. Now this was the punishment. As for their punishment, since they were not able to fight, they did not go to fight the nation of Imaraqa, who were the descendants of Ad. Their punishment was فإنها محرمة عليهم. Bayt al-Maqdis became haram. It was haram for them to enter Bayt al-Maqdis. It was haram for them to enter Palestine for how many years? 40 سنة. For 40 years. يتيهون في الأرض. Now this was also their punishment. يتيهون في الأرض. They would just turn and go in circles and circles and circles. They were, in other words, يتيهون في الأرض. They were lost on earth for 40 years. Now, this right here, then again, they were stranded on the Sahara Sina. This was the name of the desert. It was called Sina. And this is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed them with manna and salwa, as we read about in Surah Al-Baqarah, manna and salwa, وَأَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْهِمُ الْغَمَامِ. Allah ta'ala sent upon them a cloud that would provide them with shade. And this is the area when this is the area where Musa alayhi salam passed away, as well as his brother Harun alayhi salam. After Yusha alayhi salam was made a prophet, he took care of this nation. And thereafter they went to Sham, and another prophet had come by the name of Simwail, and we read the story and how they fought in the battle with Jalut, along with Dawud alayhi salam. Now from here, وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ ayah number 27, if you have your Quran open, all the way until ayah number 31. Now this we'll talk about, and this we'll talk about the story of Adam alayhi salam and the story of his two sons, Habil and Qabil. There's just a little explanation, and what happened was that Hawa alayhi salam, she would give birth. In one pregnancy, she would give birth to a male and a female. Now, this male and this female, they were considered brothers and sisters, and they were not allowed to marry. Now, in her second pregnancy, she would give birth to another couple, a male and a female. These were not allowed to marry. Now, the condition was, the hukm was that the first, now, just to make you understand, it would be crisscross. So now, for example, to better understand, first pregnancy, you have a boy, you have a male and a female. Second pregnancy, you have a male and a female. The male from the first pregnancy was to marry the woman from the second pregnancy. And the male from the second pregnancy was to marry the woman from the first pregnancy. Now, Qabil was born like this as well. Qabil was born with his sister in the first pregnancy. Qabil was older than Habil. Habil was younger. Now, the rule was Qabil was to marry the sister of Habil as he was born in this second pregnancy. But Qabil, when you look, Qabil's sister, his actual sister, was actually more attractive than the sister of Habil. So Habil was to marry the sister of Qabil, and Qabil was to marry the sister of Habil. Now, the sister of Habil, she was unattractive. So Qabil said, no, I will not marry the sister of Habil. I want to marry my own sister. I want to marry my own sister as she is more attractive. So, and this was something that was not allowed. So they went to Adam alayhi salam, and Adam alayhi salam said, the rule is now, and before, back in the days, people, when they wanted to make a decision, they would sacrifice something in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They would not kill, they would not slaughter. What they would do is that they would take something, whatever offering that they had to offer, they would place it on a high mountain or an elevated place. Thereafter, if Allah Ta'ala wanted to accept this, Allah Ta'ala would burn this. So, this was a decision that they had to offer something. So Habil, he offered a ram and he offered a sheep. Now, this was his offering, and he placed it on top of a mountain. Now, Qabil was a farmer, so what he offered, he didn't have much to offer, so he offered grains. So he offered grains. Now, of course, sheep being better than grains, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also knew the intention of Habil, the love that there was in this offering, and love that Qabil had for his offering as well. So, of course, Allah Ta'ala accepted Habil's sacrifice, and as he was on the right path as well. Now, after hearing about this, Qabil became jealous, and he intended to kill his brother. Now, subhanAllah, look at the response that Habil gave his brother. He said, لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدَيَّ إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ. SubhanAllah, what a beautiful response. This is, my dear respected brothers, this is a lesson that we have to learn as well. He said, لَإِن بَسَطْتَ إِلَيَّ يَدَكَ. He said, oh my brother, if you stretch your arms forth to kill me, لِتَقْتُلَنِي مَا أَنَا بِبَاسِطٍ يَدِيَ إِلَيْكَ لِأَقْتُلَكَ. He said, if you intend to kill me, oh my brother, you will kill me, but I will not intend to kill you. This is the response. In other words, even if you intend to kill me, my brother, I will forgive you. I will not kill you. And thereafter, Qabil did so, he killed his brother, and this was the first kill to take place, the first murder to take place in the history of mankind on the face of this earth. Now, and every time a person kills someone, every time a killing takes place or a murder takes place on the face of this earth, Qabil will get all the will get this. Will get all their bad rewards. Now, after killing him, what happened was, فَأَصْبَحَ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ, became very upset, he became very sad, and he didn't know what to do. فَبَعَثَ اللَّهُ غُرَابًا يَبْحَثُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Thereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a crow to show him how to bury his brother. Thereafter he thought, and he said to himself, have I gotten this low that a bird has to come, that a crow has to come and to show me how to bury my brother? فَأَصْبَحَ مِنَ النَّادِمِينَ. Now, from here, ayah number 33. إنما جزاء الذين يحاربون الله ورسوله ويسعون في الأرض فسادا, all the way until ayah number 40. من يشاء ويغفر لمن يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. يعذب من يشاء ويغفر لمن يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. Now those people who oppose and violate the ahkam, يحاربون Allah here means ahkam and rulings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now from here, from ayah number 33 all the way until ayah number 40, these ayahs will talk about the punishment and what punishment of a thief will be. As we will read, وَالسَّارِقَةُ فَاقْطَعُوا أَيْدِيَهُمَا. Now, the rulings of a person and the punishment of those who rob, and punishment of those who steal. So we will not get into, then again, we will not get into the details of this. Now, starting from يَا أَيُّهَا الرَّسُولُ لَا يَحْزُنْكَ الَّذِينَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْكُفْرِ, all the way until ayah number 51, أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حُكْمًا لِقَوْمٍ يُوقِنُونَ. So then again, if you have your Quran open, from ayah number 41 all the way until 51. Now, these ayahs were revealed after a few significant incidents. So after, now, some incidents had happened. After these incidents, these ayahs were revealed. The first incident was that two married Jews of Khaybar that had committed zina. Now in Torah, the punishment for this crime was capital punishment. The Jews knew this as well, that there is no other way out. A married couple who has committed zina, their punishment is capital punishment. Then again, we'll not go into the details of what capital punishment is. The Jews knew this. Now, the punishment of a crime in the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, this is what the Jews said. They said Torah has some harsh, to their claim, they said Torah has few harsh punishments. Now, as for the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the rulings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we find that, the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the punishment is of a lesser degree than that of Torah. So they were looking for a different route. They said, in Torah, it will be capital punishment. Maybe in the Sharia of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it may be different. So what they did, they consulted their leaders and their friends. So when they went to their leaders, when they went to their friends, they said, when you go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells you that capital punishment will take place, do not listen to this, and obey and follow whatever he says. So, in other words, if he says capital punishment, say no to this, and say, Ya Rasulullah, we are ready to follow whatever you say. So now, and this couple tried to dodge capital punishment, as this was the punishment of their crime. So, now when they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala through Jibreel alayhi salam already informed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of their intention and already informed that capital punishment will take place. Now, when they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this couple, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked them that what is written in Torah. So in the beginning, of course, they tried hiding it. They tried hiding what was written in Torah. Now, at the same time, there was a very great alim who was present at that time. A very great alim of Torah. A very great Jew. By the name of Ibn Surya. And Abdullah bin Salam anhu was present there as well, who was a Jew before, and thereafter he embraced Islam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Ibn Surya that, Ibn Surya, by Allah, you have to tell me the truth, what is written in your book. Now these Jews who came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for their decision, they said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they hid portions, as we read in the Quran as well, they would hide few portions of Torah. And they would interpret few things to their benefit. So when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked Surya, he said, Ibn Surya said, Rasulullah, this is the punishment, capital punishment will take place. After he asked Abdullah bin Salam, who was a Jew before, who also had knowledge of Torah, he said, Ya Rasulullah, this is also the incident, and this is how it will take place, capital punishment will take place. So after this incident, few ayahs were revealed based on this incident. Thereafter, if you look at ayah number 41, then again, ayah number 41. وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا أَنَّ النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ وَالْعَيْنَ بِالْعَيْنِ وَالْأَنْفَ بِالْأَنْفِ وَالْأُذُنَ بِالْأُذُنِ وَالسِّنَّ بِالسِّنِّ وَالْجُرُوحَ قِصَاص. Now then again, this ayah was revealed after an incident had taken place. So we have to understand there were two groups of Jews, two Jewish tribes in Medina at that time. The first was Banu Qurayza, the other being Banu Nadir. Now, Banu Nadir was wealthier than Banu Qurayza. They were stronger, they were wealthier than Banu Qurayza. Now, Banu Qurayza would take advantage of their weakness. So now the rule was, and this is the rule that they had come up with. The rule was that if a person from Banu Nadir, so the Banu Nadir was the wealthier tribe. If a person from Banu Nadir killed a person from Banu Qurayza, which was they were weaker, they were poor than Banu Nadir. So if a person from Banu Nadir killed a person from Banu Qurayza, qisas will not take place. Meaning the family of the deceased person have no right to kill that person who killed this person from, they have no right to kill that person from Banu Nadir, sorry. So once again, to make it to further clarify, the rule at that time was, and this was the rule that the Jews came up with, Banu Nadir, if a person from Banu Nadir killed a person from Banu Qurayza, qisas will not take place. As we know, qisas is nafs bin nafs. The person kills you, the family of that deceased person, they can kill him. Ayn bin ayn, eye for an eye. So this is qisas. But they did not take this. They said, we will give you the family of the deceased person. So sorry, once again, that's a little confusing. We gotta start again. So then again, if a person from Banu Qurayza killed a person from, if a person from Banu Nadir killed a person from Banu Qurayza, qisas will not take place. The people, of Banu Nadir, since they were wealthier, they would provide for the deceased family some goods and some merchandise, and qisas will not take place. Now, on the other hand, if a person from Banu Qurayza, which was of the lower caste, if they killed a person from Banu Nadir, qisas will take place, meaning the person who died, the person who killed, he will also be killed. Thereafter, the family of the person who killed, they have to provide Banu Nadir with some good fortune and with some, with some fortune and some merchandise. This was the rule, and I hope I made it clear, as it was a little confusing. Now, after this, so what happened was a person from Banu Qurayza, he killed a person from Banu Nadir. Now, qisas was not going to take place, so they took this matter to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, when this matter came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this ayah was revealed. وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا أَدْنَى النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ. Nafs with nafs, ayn بالعين, an eye, anf بالأنف, nose for nose, والأذن بالأذن. Someone has, taken your ear off, you take his ear off. This is adl, this is justice. والسن بالسن, tooth for a tooth. والجروح قصاص. And after this occasion, this ayah was revealed. Now, and there were other few incidents that had taken place between these two rukus. Now, from here, ayah number 51. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض, all the way until فَتَرَى الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ يُسَارِعُونَ فِيهِمْ يَقُولُونَ نَخْشَى أَن تُصِيبَنَا دَائِرَةٌ. Now, respected brothers and sisters, do not take the Jews and Christians as your close friends. The munafiqeen, in this ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tattakhidhu al-yahud, Allah Ta'ala is addressing Muslims that do not make them your close friends. Not make them your close friends. And this is also a lesson that we need to take as well. As I've mentioned before, that they will never be pleased with you until you accept their religion. Now in this ayah, فَتَرَى الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ يُسَارِعُونَ فِيهِمْ يَقُولُونَ نَخْشَى أَن تُصِيبَنَا دَائِرَةٌ. Now these were munafiqeen who would do the opposite. Now these people, when Allah Ta'ala said to them, do not go towards the Jews, do not go towards the Christians, do not sit with them, do not sit in their gatherings. Now these munafiqeen, they would do the opposite. They would actually go and sit in the gatherings of Jews, not only Jews, but in the gatherings of Christians. And they were very close friends. When someone would oppose them, when someone would ask them, when people would ask them as to why they are sitting, because these were so-called Muslims, when people asked them, why are you sitting with the non-Muslims? Why are you sitting with disbelievers? Why are you sitting with Jews? They said, we fear that, if we don't sit with them, if we don't make them our friends, we fear that they may attack us, they may surprise attack us, they may inflict pain on us, and they may cause us harm. So this is the reason why we sit with them. But the reality was, the reason why they used to sit with them was because they were waiting for that perfect moment for the Christians or the Jews to attack and overpower the Muslims and to kill all the Muslims. So after, they will join with them and they will say, see, we were already with you. We were not with the Muslims. Now from this ayah number 64, if you have your Qur'ans open, please open to this. وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةٌ. This was also revealed after an incident had taken place. Now when Rasulullah ﷺ, when he migrated to Medina, he invited the Jews to Islam, which they refused and they rejected. So as a warning and as a lesson, they were faced with a difficulty. The Jews who were living in Medina, they were faced with difficulties, some financial difficulties, some living-wise as well. They were faced with the difficulty. So upon this occasion, the Jews said, وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةٌ. They said, مَغْلُولَة means a person whose hands are tied. They said, مَغْلُولَة, Allah Ta'ala, na'udhu billah, his hands are tied, referring to as Allah Ta'ala being stingy. They said Allah Ta'ala is stingy, na'udhu billah, Allah Ta'ala is miser, his hands are tied. This is why he's not providing us with good. This is why, because Allah Ta'ala is stingy, we are going through all these difficulties. Now, in response to this, Allah Ta'ala said, غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. And this is, subhanAllah, this is very ironic. For instance, irony is when a person today claims that, my brothers and sisters, we should not be using cell phones. Thereafter, this person is using a cell phone himself. This is this is called being ironic. So look at the irony. These people are saying, Yadullahi maghlula. Allah Ta'ala is stingy, Allah Ta'ala is miser. Allah Ta'ala says, Ghullat aydihim. Who are you? What are you saying? You people are miser, you people are stingy yourself. And as we know, this is the quality that a lot of Jews have, stinginess, being miser. So Allah Ta'ala said, Ghullat aydihim. How are you telling me that my hands are tied? How are you telling me that I am stingy? Rather, this is a quality which is found within your nation. Then thereafter, Ya Rasulullah, uh, rather, thereafter Allah Ta'ala says, بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَوْصُوفَتان. Rather, Allah Ta'ala's hands are spread. يُنْفِقُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. Allah Ta'ala spreads. Allah Ta'ala, and Allah Ta'ala spreads, Allah Ta'ala, sorry, gives, however, to whomsoever He wishes. Now, from ayah number 67. Ayah number 67. يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. And this ayah was also revealed to console Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now Hassan radiallahu anhu narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when I received the ahkam of tabligh, when I received the ahkam of tabligh and risala, I felt that now, because I have this responsibility on my shoulders, many people will deny me and many people will go against me. But after this ayah was revealed, I felt peace and comfort. Meaning, Ya ayyuha Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. O Prophet, reveal and convey what has been revealed from Allah Ta'ala, what has been revealed to you from Allah Ta'ala. After, when you reveal all this, Wallahu ya'asimuka min nas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't worry, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect you from people. This was also sent to console Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now we'll start reading from here. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لَسْتُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ. This all the way until وَاللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ. So ayah number 68 all the way until 71. This also discusses the topic of Bani Israel, and this topic has been covered in Surah Baqarah. Now, my dear respected brothers and sisters, I've said this before, and inshallah, I will say it again. I know most of us, or a lot of us, love to hear stories of the Quran, because Quran has many beautiful stories. Now, what we have to understand, Quranic stories, inshallah, they will come later on. Now, most of these are ahkam. As we know, most of these are ahkam. As we read Surah Nisa yesterday, most of these are ahkam of jihad, ahkam of talaq, ahkam of masiyah. Also, so basically, the beginning surahs most of them are ahkam. This is why we are quickly breezing through most of the rukus. But inshallah, once we get to the once we get to Surah Yusuf, inshallah, we'll do Surah Yusuf in detail as well, Surah Nur in detail, the last few surahs, the last few juz as well, inshallah, we'll do in details, and inshallah, we'll make this as entertaining, inshallah, as interesting as possible. But right now, please bear with me that these are only ahkam, like I mentioned as well. These ahkam, I do not want to go into, because this is also a live stream, and this is the reason why I also skipped the ahkam of theft. When a person, what will be the punishment of a person when he steals? And most of these stories have gone by as well. And most of these stories have gone by. Either they've gone by, or they will be covered with full details later on. So then again, from here, from ayah number 68, قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ, all the way until اللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ. This talks about the story of Bani Israel, and we have covered this. So we will not cover this again. Now from here, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ, all the way until قَدْ ضَلُّوا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَأَضَلُّوا كَثِيرًا وَضَلُّوا عَنْ سَوَاءِ السَّبِيلِ. So ayah number 77. So then again, from ayah number 72 all the way until 77, this talks about the faith of the Christians. And I briefly, touched on this, how the Christians used to say, they used to say God, and they still say this today, God is in the form of three persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So this ayah is to nullify, all of these ayahs are to nullify their belief, as Allah Ta'ala also says in this ayah, in ayah number 75, مَا الْمَسِيحُ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ. The son of Maryam was only a prophet, قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ وَأُمُّهُ صِدِّيقَةٌ. And his mother is telling the truth. Meaning that she should not be accused of the crime that you are saying, of the crime that you are accusing of her. From here, لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, ayah number 79. لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَلَى لِسَانِ دَاوُودَ وَعِيسَى بْنِ مَرْيَمَ ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. All the way until the end of the surah, all the way until not the end of the surah, until the end of this juz. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قِسِّيسِينَ وَرَهْبَانًا وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. All the way here until the end of the page, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will talk about the Jews and He will address the Jews. Thereafter Allah ta'ala says, تَرَى كَثِيرًا مِنْهُمْ يَتَوَلَّوْنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Now, this is also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of the Jews. Now who are these Jews? These were the Jews who were present at the time of Medina. So during the lifetime of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now these Jews, what they used to do when they were in Medina, they were told they would have agreements with Muslims, meaning they would have treaties with Muslims. But they would go. They were just looking for that key moment when non-Muslims would attack Muslims. So at that moment they would break the treaty and they would side with non-Muslims. Thereafter they would attack Muslims. So this was what they used to do. Now, one other thing they used to do, and they were indulgent, these Jews of Medina, they used to go and meet with the mushrikeen of Mecca. And they used to tell them that we are actually with you, we are not with the Muslims. And they used to console them and give them comfort that do not think by having these treaties we are with Muslims, we are in fact with you. Rather, we like your religion, the religion that you were on, we like your religion better than the religion of Muslims. And this is what they used to say. Now from here, لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودِ. Now this is also what Ta'ala is saying that, these Jews, أشد الناس عداوة. Jews today, they have the most hatred towards Muslims. And we can see this today as well, as Allah Ta'ala has said this as well. And subhanAllah, Allah Ta'ala has indeed said the truth. Today you will find Jews are the ones who have the most hatred towards Muslims. Now, on the other hand, وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى. Nasara, who they are Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book, the people of the scripture. And you will find those who are the people who are the people of the book. Now these people, you will find them to be أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً. These people will have more affectionate. These people will have more love for you. Now the reason why they will have more love for you is because they do not have love for dunya. These Christians, they have two qualities. The first quality being that these Christians, they don't have love for dunya. The love of dunya has left their hearts. Number two, وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. These Christians, they do not have. Mind you, these Christians are those who are actually practicing Muslims. Those who are practicing Muslims, these Muslims, they have a soft side. These Christians who are actually practicing Christians, they have a soft side towards Muslims because of two reasons. Because of number one, honestly, we can see this today as well. When we see the ones who are actually practicing Christians, they don't have too much inclination towards dunya. At the same time, if you look at them, I've seen them myself. They are very humble. These two qualities, I've seen it with my own eyes. They don't have pride, and they're very humble people. At the same time, they are, they've completely separated themselves from dunya. Jews, on the other hand, they have these two things. They have pride. Not only do they have pride, they have love for this dunya. That's why you see a lot of Jews are really, really wealthy because they have love for this dunya. So Rasulullah is being told that these Jews, they will always have hatred for you because of two qualities, because of their pride and because of their pride and because of the love of dunya that they have in their hearts. Now, as for Christians, they have a soft side towards you. They have a soft side towards you because of two reasons. One, because they don't have pride. Second, because these Christians are away from dunya. They don't have the love of dunya. Now, alhamdulillah, This brings us to the end of our 6th juz, La Yuhibbullah. Inshallah, tomorrow we will start with our 7th juz, وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا. Now then again, for those who have just joined, we are quickly breezing through this. We are quickly just, I would say, flying through the first few juz, is because most of them speak about ahkam. If we delve into the ahkam of nikah, there are so many masail of nikah, so many, because the thing is that if I only touch few things about nikah, few people will be left in confusion. So it's better for me not to touch this discussion at all. And the same goes for the ahkam of talaq, the ahkam of jihad. Jihad we'll not talk about, and other ahkam as well. But inshallah, once we move on towards other surahs, towards Surah Yusuf, towards other surahs, towards Surah Kahf, the story of the people who slept in the cave, and the story of Nuh in Surah Zumar as well, how it talks about Jahannam and Jannah. So inshallah, when we move on from these surahs, because most of the beginning surahs, all the way until, I would say, Surah Yusuf, all the way until all the way basically until Surah Tawbah. All the way until Surah Tawbah, these are most of them are ahkam. Most of them speak of ahkam. And inshallah, after Surah Tawbah comes Surah Yunus. Inshallah, we'll do the story of Yunus alayhi salam as well. It'll be very interesting as well. Thereafter Yunus, Hud, the story of Hud alayhi salam, another very interesting story as well. Thereafter, inshallah, it will only get better and better. So now, before then again I end off, if there's any person who would like to text something or perhaps say something, you are free to do so.
All participants are muted and they can unmute themselves.
And 1, 2, 3. All you have to do is press star and press 6. And inshallah, everyone will be able to hear you. Now, I say this every single day, but subhanAllah, I haven't heard anyone's voice. So it's either...
Yes, alhamdulillah. I had a question when you were talking about the groups, the Jews groups in Medina. I kind of couldn't get the names of them.
The 2 groups in Medina?
Yes.
The groups, yes. The first group was Banu Nadir, and the second group was Banu Qurayza.
Banu Qurayza. So the qisas, what you said about the qisas, can you please repeat that part?
So no problem. So what happened was, at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we know, in Medina there were 2 nations, 2 Jewish nations, Banu Nadir and Banu Qurayza. Now Banu Nadir was wealthier than Banu Qurayza. So what happened was, now if a person from Banu Nadir killed a person from Banu Qurayza, qisas will not take place, meaning that the person who died, his family members were not allowed to kill the person from Banu Nadir, because they were wealthier. Now, on the other hand, if a person from Banu Qurayza killed a person from Banu Nadir, what would happen was qisas will not take place. They would give them qisas will take place. So then again, if a person from Banu Qurayza killed a person from Banu Nadir, since Banu Qurayza was of a lower system, lower caste, so qisas will take place. The person, the people, the family of the deceased person, they were allowed to kill this person. Not only kill this person, in return they wanted some fortune. In return, they wanted some merchandise from from his family, from the killer's family, from the murderer's family. This was their qisas at that time.
Alhamdulillah. So it's clear now. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khairan.
No problem. You're welcome. If there are any other questions, then again, if it's in my knowledge, you are free to ask any question. Oh, I just have to let me know. For 40 years, and in that same time, how to I was wondering, were they very close to Jerusalem though? So were they close? Sorry, I'm not able to understand your question. Your voice is constantly being cut off. My question is regarding one of the Jews who vanished for 40 years. Is it finished? Okay, I get this part when the Jews were banished for 40 years, yes?
He passed away during the 40 years.
Yes. He passed away. So what happened was they were banished, and it was haram for them to enter Bayt al-Maqdis, Palestine. And after they were banished to the desert of Sinai. That was a desert thing. So this is where, we talked about the bounties and the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showered them with. Thereafter, this is the place where Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam passed away. Now, after they passed away, Yusha alayhi salam was made a prophet. He took some of the people towards Sham, and at the same time, another prophet was made. His name was Simoy alayhi salam. And he took some people towards, and this is the battle that we talked about in the first years, when he took his people to fight Jalut. And when Allah Ta'ala sent for their help, and Allah Ta'ala appointed Talut to help them. وإياكم.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have a question as well.
Yes.
It's just related to Ramadan. So, if to make the intention in another language, is that permissible?
If you make the intention in another language, yes, it is permissible.
Okay.
Yeah, come.
All participants are muted.
So no worries, alhamdulillah, today, alhamdulillah, we had 3 people who had questions. Alhamdulillah, I hope their questions were answered correctly as well. Now, inshallah, tomorrow, we will start with our 7th juz. And I will say this one last time, please bear with us, because the first few juz we will talk about ahkam, and we will not delve and we will not get into the details of ahkam. Ahkam of jihad, ahkam of sawm, ahkam of talaq, nikah. And inshallah, once we move on to Surah Yunus, we will move on to stories and different key important lessons that we can extract. So, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of what has been heard and said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to have love for the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to fast in the month of Ramadan with ease. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also enable us to have love for His deen, to have love for His prophets, to have love for companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as well. And lastly, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Ramadan our turning point. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Ramadan a means for us to have our sins forgiven. Now, Jazakallahu khairan for your time. I truly appreciate this. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate this, because it is, honestly, today it is very hard to listen to just audio. Now when a person, even it's a little hard for me as well, because I have my phone right next to me. It's as if I'm just talking to my phone. But when you are facing someone, you have more enthusiasm, you have more courage, you have more zeal in you to listen to someone. But alhamdulillah, I truly applaud you for actually listening to the Quran, to listening to this. And I truly appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all those who are listening attentively immensely. Jazakallahu khairan for your time. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.